About 70% of our planet's surface is covered in water, and this water has been crucial to life's success on Earth. Our oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, and streams help regulate the planet's climate, affecting conditions such as temperature, precipitation, humidity, air pressure, and even the amount of greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. People depend on water around us, building entire livelihoods on industries related to it. However, with global climate changing, these livelihoods and our entire way of living are being threatened. Water requires a lot of heat energy to switch between states. Water has a high heat capacity, requiring high amounts of energy in order to heat it. This means that places near bodies of water tend to be cooler and seasons change gradually rather than abruptly. Since water temperature changes incrementally, it also provides a stable environment for millions of species of living organisms. An important aspect of how water affects our lives is through the water cycle, which is the continuous movement of water between the land and the atmosphere. Stable conditions provided by water cycle and predictable weather patterns help to support healthy ecosystems. In its three states, solid, liquid, and gas, water is all around us, and those states are determined by temperature. Take a look at the mill pond, for example. Water collects in the pond, evaporating into the air on hot days and eventually condensing and falling as precipitation, like rain or snow. In the winter, if temperatures are stable and below freezing, the pond surface will freeze, separating life above from life below. The insulative properties of ice help to keep the water below it from freezing, allowing fresh water ecosystems to survive. Underneath a frozen pond's surface, fish and aquatic organisms are active, and at the bottom, hibernating creatures like turtles and frogs rest in the mud until spring. The cycle of freezing and thawing is essential to a healthy ecosystem because it protects many living things from the harsh conditions of winter. Using data collected by SUNY Oneonta's biological field station on Otsego Lake, which is about 40 miles north of Hanford Mills, we can analyze how lake freezes vary from year to year in central New York. This graph displays the number of days Otsego Lake has frozen each winter from 1849 through 2020. As we can see, the length of time the lake is fully frozen has steadily decreased in the past 170 years. So much so that in the past 20 years, the lake did not freeze at all for 3 times. In the years when the lake has frozen, it has progressively occurred later in the season. This change in frequency of long, stable freezes is due to changes in the world's climate and global increases of temperature. The changing climate has not only caused extremes in both low and high temperatures, but has also influenced the frequency of natural disasters such as hurricanes, wildfires, floods, and droughts. In New York State, climate change is impacting our winter temperatures, and those changes impact the environment, wildlife, and economies. At Hanford Mills, we can see the impacts of these changes at our Ice Harvest Festival each year. Ice droughts occurred here and throughout the northern regions in the past when temperatures did not remain cold for ice growth. In recent years, the pond more often freezes later in the year, or it melts at least once before growing thick enough to stay frozen through the winter. We monitor ice thickness carefully and have created other activities off the ice for years when the ice isn't thick enough for us to safely harvest it. Inconsistent winter weather impacts our local hibernating species, which can emerge too early when the temperatures warm and then freeze again. And changes to climate also allow for more species, including disease-carrying ticks, to expand their ranges further north. Inconsistent weather also impacts industries that depend on consistent seasonal and cold winters, including maple syrup producers in the winter tourism industry. Climate change is already occurring, but people around the world are working to reduce its impact and help communities to adapt more easily. To help you learn more about what you can do at home in your communities to lessen the impact, we are including some links in the description in this video.